Wesley Snipes, he's been a killer and a commando. Patrick Swayze, he's been a heartthrob and a hero. But these tough guys are about to face the most physically challenging roles of their careers.
Let's give it to him, girls.
Okay. Let me explain. My grandpa had a really big collection of VHS tapes. He loved movies. He instilled that love into my father, who instilled that love into me. The love for movies is in my blood, and it is the foundation which this channel is based on. And a film that I loved as a kid was a film about drag queens. At first glance, you might think that this film would be super problematic and generally offensive, considering that it was made in the 90s. However, it isn't. And it is a film that subconsciously instilled immensely important values in my 5-year-old brain. Yeah, 5. To Wong Foo, Thanks for Everything, Julie Newmar is a film that tackles everything from homophobia, toxic masculinity, domestic violence, racism, and sexism. And it does it head on. It doesn't pull any punches when it comes to the subject matter, which makes it important. Right out of the gate, my parents never ever thought that they were exposing me to anything. Yeah, sure, my grandpa and grandma would let my sister and I watch some questionable shit. Like, bro, have you ever heard of The Night Flyer? That shit? Yuck. My grandpa didn't give a damn. They were movies. They were stories. They were also reflections of life and real things that did, can, and will happen. Hopefully, Night Flyer doesn't happen, because that would just be super fucked. But it would be pointless to shelter us from that. It was better to prepare us for the real world. And that is what To Wong Foo did for me. Quick synopsis, if you haven't heard of the movie already. I'm gonna assume that you haven't. But it is about these 3 drag queens, who are also gay men, who are going on a road trip to fulfill a lifelong dream of becoming true drag queens, and participating in the most grandiose contest of them all. But along the way, they hit some bumps in the road, and end up being hunted by a deputy and broke down and stranded in a small town. And by small town, I mean, it's a road. I don't want to spoil this movie, so it's hard to even talk about it in length. But I feel like people should give this movie a chance. And if you are worried about me being wrong about this film, be cautious, but I don't think we have to, because it is still positively talked about in present day within the drag scene. This movie, at its core, between funny and sweet character bonding interactions and needle drops, is a story about acceptance. Acceptance of yourself and acceptance of others. And those two things go directly hand in hand. It's hard for people to accept the lives and choices and just the way other people are. That stems from an uncomfortability that they feel, sometimes. People who judge, discriminate, and hold prejudices are people who find comfort in power and ignorance. But what this film is saying is that it doesn't have to be that way, and it shouldn't be that way. It is tackling things that were relevant far before the 90s and things that are still relevant to this day. And sadly, will probably be relevant in the future. I think that where this movie strives in pushing the boundaries socially is directly tied to the themes. It's not as hard to respect and give a damn about other people as you make it out to be. You are not the normal one here. Being hateful, spiteful, and acting superior to others is not normal. And it goes without saying that it isn't right. You don't get to dictate who other people are, just as they don't try to do it to you. To Wong Foo tells a story of people, human beings who just want to live their lives, free of judgment and fear. That's all it is. I don't know why this is so hard for adults, because even a kid like me understood that people who are different from you are still people. There's no superiority or an inferiority attached to it. I just knew that those other people wanted the exact same things that I wanted. So here's a challenge. You let your kids watch this movie. You won't be exposing them to anything. If anything, you'll expose them to respect, friendship, acceptance, and life. I feel like that got a little heated. But I just really care about movies and the impact that they can have on people and have had on me. That's why this series exists. But anyways, check out To Wong Foo, Thanks for Everything, Julie Newmar on Netflix US if you want to. Thank you for watching this, and thank you for joining me in having this flashback.